Okay. Testing. Okay. Making sure these mics being picked up. We got a lot of ambient noise in the background. It's that time of the week, boys. Get these flyers out. Just sorting everything. Making sure we are ready to rock and roll, if you will. Short stream for tonight. Sometimes, like, works kills me, and that was a bit today because I had to, like, stop for an hour to help out a buddy. But we are still alive. I'm thinking we might actually have to move to evening streams. If only for the fact that it's a little bit more violent. My work schedule keeps getting shifted around weirdly, and it's only in evenings where I'm having the most consistent time to stream. So, yeah, we're doing Platinum. This is gonna be really nice and jarring going to this after playing Black and White. We roll back on some quality of life, go forward, we get some nicer Pokemon choices. It's been forever since I played Platinum, and like looking back at how I really hope that Platinum holds up, because my god, man, it's the design to Black and White was actually crazy how smart it is. It's like I think it's one of the more intelligently designed Pokemon games that I can recall. Because I look into the details, I see the setups, you see like the strategies that each trainer has at its playing. It's like, wow, actually this is crazy smart. So it's gonna be very nice going back to Platinum. I remember I loved Platinum a lot as a kid, explicitly for the sheer amount of content and how much cool shit it had in it. I just gotta tweet something on the side here so you guys get to enjoy the intro while we getting in here. I remember how, I actually don't want to delay stream for till 7 o'clock. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be done with work at 5, but I want to get some writing done, and I still don't get time to do writing because I had other things I have to tend to. I'm thinking also, what should we have the naming convention be this time around? I mean, the funniest thing about, what it's called, but yeah, I guess we gotta decide on a starter as well. My brain just completely far out what was thinking, so. I was an idiot and sold my copy of Pearl for way less than what it was worth. There's a lot of shit that I did, when COVID hit, that I regret a lot. A lot of it was selling all my old games. Because I thought, oh, I'm never going to play this game again, and if I can, I got a flash cart for it. Okay, I still got the flash cart, but you know. So we got naming convention. The only thing I like is that, what I do like about between Gen 4 and Gen 5 is how, they sound and look and feel distinctly different. Like, the Platinum sound font, like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, it has a very unique sound font that even carries over to Heart Gold and Soul Silver. It's like, you hear that, it's like, it kind of has this iconic sound to it. It's completely changed when you roll over to Black and White. Also, admittedly, I did not like, what's his face's, I didn't really like, the male trainer design for it, but, you know. What do I have? Hooties? We need a naming convention. I'm trying to think. Let's do previous YouTubers, but the ones who got cancelled. Oh, that might be a bit too much, but hold on, let's go back. This is Doug. We're Douging it. I know exactly what I'm naming him, though. It's not Melvin, it's, what's his name? It's, hold on. Randall, okay. Sorry to Randall's out there, but Randall is not a name that carries, I'll have, like, nice vibes with it, you know? When I think Randall, I think of the guy from Recess. Or we should name him Shitface. No, I probably shouldn't, actually, not gonna lie. I could even say, like, I should work on curbing my language. I go right back to saying Shitface. Ah. Okay, first of all, you know? Oh. Also, I'm not sure if this is just, like, the emulation issue, or this is just how the game looked, and it's been forever since I played it, and we're kind of having it blown up. Everything looks very, crusted, or looks smoothed out. I cannot remember if the game, like, looked this smooth, or is it just because we've blown up these textures, which should not have to look like this. The one thing I loved the most as a kid was, like, having, like, this physical badge case here. It was, like, way more interactive than, black and white. Haven't decided yet. See if this worked. Yeah, so we are moving on a pretty strong start. First of all, fast. Step. Let's go steal. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, I don't remember the game looking this smooth, and I think that's just because we, like, blown up the graphics, and they're meant to be, like, on a tiny screen. Don't get mauled, son. I know there's, like, you can see those lines, which is just an issue with emulation. I know there's probably ways to smooth it out, but that's just because I remember this, like... The technology blows me away. Oh, dude, true! This is when, like, the GTS... That's right, this is when the GTS actually became, like, a thing. Looking for Mew level 9 and under. But yeah, like, this started, rather than using tile sets, it starts to use, like, 3D, like, pseudo 3D renders. I forget. They use the same kind of stuff in, like, early PS1 games. Or, like, some PS1 games. Oh, and it's winter. Why is it snowy here? It ain't winter, bro. I know that this had, like, the actual dynamic day-night cycles as well. Which was, like, something that was, like, whoa, when you play under the covers, it's like, whoa, dude. Wasn't there a single kid who liked this rival? Because, you know, Gary was a dick. This guy's just, like, a severe severe ADHD. And that's coming for a guy who gets very excited and gets very ADHD. Where are you? Oh, I was gonna say, the music sounds fucked, but I forgot that there's, like, day and nighttime things. These kids were about to kill them to, like, get attacked, but get mauled if they don't have Pokemon. Okay, good. Yeah, I remember I just really, really disliked him as a kid, because, like, I dealt with Gary. May always mortified me because I hate it. I picked Mudkip. Times 4 weakness against the rival fight is nightmarish. Obviously everybody remembers Bianca and Charon. That's because, like, Gary, and I think this is because I'm a little bit later. I forget the name of the rival from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Mr. Red Hair. You didn't rename him anything, though, but, you know. Alright. I would say Wheel Decide, but I do not want to get stuck with Empoleon, because I remember... This is really tough, because it's, like, either Torterra? Hold on, if I remember the gyms, it's, Rock... Grass, Ghost, Fighting, Water, Steel, Ice, Electric. It's actually kind of funny looking through everything we have to get through, because I remember the Elite Four in this game. I don't remember anyone from the Elite Four except for Flint, because Cynthia is like, Cynthia's the SOB who's just like, hey, guess what? Guess what? The Dragon Rush. I don't want to go Piplup. I do not like Piplup a lot. Every time I play with Piplup, something goes wrong. Torterra as a grass ground, like, just feels... But then again, grass ground doesn't give us water resistance. Hold on. I gotta get all my resources. Let me make sure I got this here, too. But Water Steel is also not bad either. Because we can get some pretty potent ground types as well. Yep, we're wheel spinning it. What do we got? I remember, like, Chimchar was, like, right when people were like, oh no, another fire... Okay, we got Chimchar. That's actually going to make the first gym pretty ass. But the wheel has decided. Well, I'm like an ice cold cola, so like cool off today. But I know he gets like close combat, flare blitz. I know he has a pretty potent moveset. Like Infernape, if I remember correctly, Infernape is no slacker. He's no Blaziken, but he's still pretty good. It feels so weird going to, like, this restrained, kind of crusty-ish UI and presentation. It's so weird seeing how stagnant it is after Black and White. Okay. Okay. We're gonna keep mashing. We need one crit hit, please. Oh no, this is gonna take a while. This is gonna take a while. That would have been so funny if you got a crit hit and killed me. Okay. Okay, to do the running shoes early. I was gonna say, like, do they make us wait till, like, 3 towns to get the running shoes? I remember that's one of my biggest beefs with Fire Red and Leaf Green. It takes forever, forever for you to get the running shoes in that game. Alright, let's bazinga on out of here. Yeah, but we got no balls, bro. I'm actually curious. I guess the clause is like you get to catch the first encounter when you can physically catch it, because I'm not sure if we can get balls here yet. It's so weird going back when the presentation is such a huge... It's like really... I guess it really shows, like, hold on, when was the release dates between these? Platnium came out in 2008, and then, like, 2009 in... so 2009 in US. We're looking at Japanese releases. 2008. Okay, so it was around 2 years of dev time for Black and White. Okay, so that actually makes sense. That overhaul makes sense. I'm gonna say, like, if they did, like, the upgrade from, like, jump from this game to Black and White in, like, just 1 year, I'd be like, what the hell were they on? My first was Ruby. Because we got Nintendo DS's early. Like, the first actual portable console was, like, DS's. Hey, Ribbon. We're not gonna get into discussion about that, but yeah. It's like... Yeah, does this even count as a first encounter? Because we don't even have any balls to catch. Can we kill you in 2 turns? Yeah, no, we can't, so we're just gonna run. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like, we can't, like, this does not count because, or... I'm not sure what the rules are, but we don't get our balls. Hold on. Let me actually look it up. Just gonna make sure. Encounters don't count until you get Pokeballs. Okay. But yeah, mine was Ruby, because we got, like, we were, like... I had, this is one kid, I think I mentioned before, who worked, like, we stayed at daycare a lot at school, like, the after-school care. Yeah, this one kid was, like, the, son of the manager, person who, like, ran after-hours school care. So, he got to bring his Game Boy and play it during daycare, and then I got to play, like, with Mudkip up until the first gym. So I was so envious, because I can only get past the first gym. He wouldn't let me wipe over his save, continue with Mudkip, so it's like, that's all the taste of Pokemon I got. Then we got our DS, and then we're like, oh my god, like Game Boy games on this. And then, like, you know, I took out the trash a lot, I mowed lawns, I got my $5 weekly allowance, and then in 4 weeks, I could get my own copy of Ruby. Because back then, Game Boy Pokemon games were only like 20 bucks. Nowadays, you get a flashcard and emulate that shit. Alright. Naming scheme. What do we got? We got a lot of options here. Slot Media? You're making me think of, like, we should just, like, name it after random fucking isekai or something like that. But, like, what slot media could we do? It's like, we could slot to... Well, no, we just did YouTubers broadly. The other option was canceled YouTubers, but I think that might get us canceled even faster. Ooh, my goodness. Like, what are you gonna go? Video essay. Oh, that's alright, that's my metal pipe. I don't know why my name... Oh, fucking hold on. I got an idea. I know exactly what we're gonna name it after. We're gonna name them after Rage Faces. It's 2009. This one that started to burgeon. Derp. There's not too many, but like there's Derp, there's Derpina, there's Derpette. That's one of the ones I remember. Oh, there's actually no. There's like there's like oh my god, Me Gusta. Dude, this is untapped. I was like trying to think like, you know, what do I think about 2010? Rage comics. The next playthrough will be named after Wojax. But yeah, this game, like, it's kind of crazy how, like, Gen 3 to Gen 4 into Gen 5 were such incredible leaps. And I could even argue Gen 5 to Gen 6 was also a huge leap, because you got, you know, you got Mega Evolutions, you got, like, full 3D, you got full character customization, even if the game ended up being kind of like, eh. I can't really say for, like, what's it called? For Gen 5 to the Alolan regions. Because I never played that, but I heard a lot of people really tended to, like, really like the Alolan variants. How that had just, like, that was, like, a very easy way of just adding more depth to certain Pokemon. Oh, that's when that's right, the marks were separate. We lost a lot when you lost the song theme, man. Okay, we have officially begun. I know, genuinely, we use a lot with, like, the dedicated shop theme. The convenience is very nice, but my god. I think the Alolan variants are fine, because like I said, like, the big issue with Pokemon always tends to be, like, creep. Where if you could, like, instead expand horizontally and, like, add more depth to existing Pokemon and, like, it helps out the world a lot more. I really like I kind of like how this was expanded in, Legends Arceus, or Arceus, whichever you want to say. Where, where instead you get, like, these ancient variants of Pokemon, which are pretty cool. And I think, like, Game Freak could, like, save on time and resources by doing that. Because, my god, man, making new Pokemon, that must be, like, a pain in the butt. Because you gotta make them balanced, and I even forgot about, like, how, it was, Gen 6 that added, the Fairy types, and that must have been, like, a huge wrench in, like, rebalancing and fixing everything up. Hey guys, what if my dad is gone because we're divorced and my mom is fucking Professor Rowan? It's always fun. Also, I would look back at like even new designs a little while back for like Sword, Shield, Scarlet, Violet. The funniest thing is that, like, most of the Pokemon designs in those games, they aren't bad. You get some, like, really good banging designs out of, like, these new gens. The issue is just the promises made. Like, if everybody remembers, Dexit. The worst part about Dexit is that it would not have been an issue if they didn't say, like, oh yeah, we're increasing the quality of the existing models, and they just didn't. I think I said before, like, if they took, like, a, escalating approach where they made Starly to start, dude? Derp. Very solid pick. Okay, I know Staraptor. Staraptor is, like, one of the goat birds. He's like, I remember him being up there as, like, one of the goated bird types go. So we're gonna name you... Booster. I remember explicitly it's because of Brave Bird being a really, really good movie learns. Even when you're a kid, you're like, Brave Bird, bro? You spam Brave Bird? And just annihilate everything. That's our first catch. We got Nigusta. Yeah, I do like how I thought, like, the music was scuffed, but I forgot that they also have, like, day and night themes for music. I can't remember if did they ever bring back day and night themes for other games? Or was that only a Gen 5 thing? Or Gen 4 thing? I gotta... Yeah, it was only Platinum. It was only, Diamond Pearl Platinum that did it. Which is a shame. Alright, this is a minor nitpick, but I also remember hating the fucking, the frickin' PCs. Oh, saving a lot of data! Oh, man. Yeah, and I did say it before, but one of the things that I feel like Pokemon should do, if it could, is that when it just makes spin-offs with a select amount of Pokemon. Like, you can make Stadium or Coliseum spin-offs, and then be like, yeah, we're just gonna, like, give some really, really good animation glow-ups to these. Now, I'm gonna say, we're not gonna get anything like Pokemon Stadium ever again, unless it's, like, focused to one generation, where you have, like, these obscenely specific animations for all these Pokemon. Because that's not feasibly possible doing for every single Mon with the amount of creep that you have to do. But they can at least, like, increment and, like, make it still look much nicer. Because I remember a lot of these models are still the same from, like, Gale of Darkness and, Gale, like, from the, Coliseum Battle Revolution. And even then, those were still very emotive models, very expressive models. And that's because, like, you were working with console hardware at the time. But now we've bridged the gap between, like, console hardware and handheld hardware, so, you know. Alright, we get our next encounter here. Noticing the lack of sound effects, too. What do we got? Shinx! Ooh, not bad, not bad. Now, Luxray was the go-to for everybody's like, wow, Luxray's so cool. And I know a lot of furries love Luxray as well. Is Luxray actually good? Nice! Let's get ourselves a Luxray, a Shinx. Shinx under our belt. What do you got for you? I think you're going to be, Freddie Mercury's one. That's right, that's right. I'm sorry, there's like a troll face called Rape Rodent. We can't. Spoder. Let's call you, like, Lolder. He's a Lolder. LOL! Call the... Actually, no. Like, LOL. Yeah, I think Lolface is the other one. It's like the precursor to the Pog. We're naming Pedo Picker. Oh yeah, we're also adding a few extra rules to this Nuzlocke. 1. If we see a trainer, we must fight them. 2. We only can use as many items as the trainer has. So if, like, a trainer has 2 potions, we have 2 potions we can use as well. I'm sorry, I'm locked in on this intense battle. And we got Ember under our belt. Perfect. I think our first level limit is 14. Wow, actually, that's... Oh, that's the same as the last game, so... Let's just center real quick. So yeah, so if somebody has a potion or 2, we only get 2 potions light. We're only using bag items unless they have the items, and we will fight every trainer we see. So we can't do any evasive tactics. We gotta face it head on. Yeah, Hytale... Oh, true, I just saw it too. Hytale got shut down. We're gonna make our own Minecraft. Oops, sorry. I heard he even had China money invested in as well, so I'm kind of surprised. But that is unfortunately what happens to most game dev dreams. I feel like game dev is like a creative pursuit that will catch up with you faster than like any other creative pursuit. It's like on a scale of it, there's it's like of large-scale creative projects. I would say the easiest to complete in their entirety would have to be books, but that doesn't mean it's not difficult and it still can't catch up with you. Because you got books, because like the biggest element in books that you have to worry about is just, you know, it's like you just need like the story and the structure and the pacing of the book to just work out proper. Your prose doesn't really matter as much as just landing that solid little story. That solid story that you're putting together, making sure you don't waste people's time. Then you got manga and comics. And most of it is because it's like, not only do you have to keep up with the artwork on it, which can creep up on you, you also have to worry about the, oh my god, derp. Sorry, not only do you have to worry about the art, but you also have to worry about the writing. Depending on if you're, like, published monthly, that writing will catch up with you super, super hard. And then it's like, so you gotta pace your own writing. You have to make your deadlines with art. If you're not making deadlines, this is one thing that I have beef with 95% of webcomic artists. Fantastic artists. I will give you that, but my god. They cannot they cannot make, like, a good narrative for the life of them most of the time. I'm just spitting facts here, okay? I should mention, just because the narrative is bad doesn't mean it's like, you know, oh, so they shouldn't try. Because sometimes the quality you see some, like, just indie webcomic artists pump out is like, wow, you're doing this, like, on a weekly basis? And that's at least where they're a bit more advantageous, because it's like, you can just have really, really solid art carry that project around. Or you can just go generic and just have, like, basically and then. I think somebody described it well. It's like there's a lot of there's this one form of storytelling, which is, like, described as and then storytelling. Where it's got, like, no real crust to it. It's just more you're flowing from, like, it's like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. You're just, like, going through a sequence of events without worrying about the future consequences or anything like that. I think that is a good way to describe a lot of webcomic stuff. But I don't exactly blame people for that, because, like, a lot of people will either, like, be like, oh, you know, it's just, like, one of my animes, or, they're on a time sink, and they're like, ah, poop. It's like, ah, poop, I gotta keep the story going. And then video games, like, then making, like, a video game is, like, the most difficult out of all of them. Because, you know, you don't have to worry about writing with the video game, but you gotta worry about, you know, art design, coding, setting up situations like scene planning, progression planning, balancing, music, sound design. There's so much work that goes into, like, game dev. Even developing something as simple as, like, a visual novel has so much work tapped into it. Or doing it solo, even with a team, will catch up with you hard. Because there's so many different elements that you gotta make sure sticks together. They had this massive announcement trailer. $5 is that announcement trailer existed to get investors. Because they did get investors eventually, but then the project fell through. Because, admittedly, I think the Hytale dev were plugin makers. These aren't, like, newbie game devs or anything like that. But it's like I said, developing a mod and then developing a game from ground up. Way different experiences. Because, like, if you're building a mod, you're building it on top of the existing framework. You're building on the existing sound design, the existing game design. You're, like, you're doing the 90% of the other stuff that goes with traditional game dev. Then you go to Hytale, and you're like, oh no. This is actually, like, a lot. That's at least what's nice about these Nuzlocke early games, because it's like, it's so straightforward and simple. I just get to yap about BS. And like I said, I am very enthralled in the creative arts. It's very interesting, like, getting to a human level of how these projects put together, and how it's like, it's a far cry from how it was, like, back in 2017. I had, like, no respect for it. Like this sounded very Trolls Remorseless, but The only thing I would actively say that like I've changed in is definitely that behavior towards people's creative ambitions. I'm a lot more like laid back on it, unless you're making money off of it. When you're making money off of it, it's like gloves come off. It's like I'm going to be mean to you. But when it comes to like free stuff, free art, it feels weird just calling stuff like cringe or whatever. You always gotta give credit within the context that it was made in. You can laugh to yourself about it, but it's like, yeah. I gotta say, I love the night themes in this game, too. We're gonna be hearing them a lot. Okay. Juba Life City. Okay, is there anything here that we need to get? Let's see. Nope, nothing we can really get. Oh, we can get a gift from the fishing guru, actually. Even, like, most of my game, like, I have very limited game dev experience. Most of mine is, like, with fiddling around with visual novels. And one of the reasons why, like, even to an extent, visual novels, like, if you want to make a good one, that is, you can just slap it together, get some Kevin MacLeod going, and you can make a visual novel easy. But making a good one means, like, I want to pay attention to, like, the scene framing, the design, like, the sound design, the character design, music design. There's so many other elements, even to something as simple as, like, a visual novel, if you wanted to make it stand out and good. Which I feel like, with tools like Rempe being available for so long, you might as well, like, put in that extra effort to make it stand out. Bazinga. Oh, we gotta go to the trainer school. And Rempe is a pretty good framework for it. The issue with that, which I really dislike it, is that, like, Rempe is definitely made by, like, software engineers and Linux users, because it's, like, it is all done through numbers and code. There's, like, no GUI. It's kind of, like, rough to work with. Oh, hey, there's, Barry. I know exactly how we're gonna sweep Barry. Oh, no, ugh. Yeah, what I do dislike about Rempe is how it feels like you have to do everything through code. It's something I gotta, like, eventually learn how to properly utilize. But if I was to do something, I want to be like, hey... I want it to be good. That's, like, the biggest part of struggle with me creative. I don't want things like sit back in the background. I want to give it my full 300% always, which is always what holds me back with writing in particular as well. It's bad for timelines, but it's like, if I, like, the other thing that does kind of, like, frustrate me with timelines is also just, like, having time and energy to do it. If I got, like, I think I remember it's, what's his face? Dude who wrote Sword Art Online. He basically, his work days was like, he'd wake up, he'd go to his favorite diner, he'd get a coffee, and then he just, what's it called? Then he'd, like, just write for 8 hours. That seems like something that'd be pretty great, just, like, write in a comfortable space. And then just being like, yeah, that seems like peak. And unlike other authors, I know how to exploit tax loopholes. This is a bit of a fun life hack you can kind of do. But if you basically become an artist, let's say even as an indie artist, you fill out your 1099, you report your taxes to the IRS, you file everything proper. And let's say, you know, you want to put Spain in your next book. You can, like, fly out to Spain and go on vacation in Spain. Put, like, some Spanish stuff in your book, like, put some Spanish references in your book and art. Tax season comes around. Yeah, I'll get a tax write-off on this trip to Spain because I was doing research. I'm not saying that it's foolproof. You'll probably need to, like, hire a tax accountant to make sure, like, it's clear so the IRS doesn't get you. But as long as your work reflects that, like, oh yeah, you went to Spain for research because you are creative, you can feasibly get away with that, which I find pretty funny. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm saying, like, if you are going to try something like that, get a tax accountant first. They know tax law a lot better than I do. Okay, what do we got? We got Route 203. Speaking of the music, man, I gotta say, Gen 4 music clears the balls out of Gen 5. It's got this weird slappy bass feel to it, but my god. And you don't need to go to these places to, like, write a story taking place somewhere, but it helps a lot, like, make your story feel more real if you actually go through the effort of going to a place like Las Vegas, for example, and, like, trying to get the vibes down, basically. You're an SOB for using Growl, you know? Doesn't matter! Lolface has got you on the ropes. This actually is not looking good, so I'm thinking of, I swap out the Dirk, kill, then swap back out to Lolface. It depends on how involved it is. Like, for example, it's like, there's some story ideas I would never be able to write if it weren't for, living in New York. New York has given me some inspiration, like how it gave Lovecraft inspiration. And by that, I mean just driving him insane because this city doesn't feel real. He lived in Red Hook, too. Red Hook is, like, pretty dang fucked up. But then it's like, the other half of Red Half is like, wow, this is actually a pretty nice place. But it depends on, like, how involved it is on the locations. Like, typically, I guess you get the fun once-in-a-lifetime factoids. Would you stop using Growl, you son of a gun? What's his problem? What is his genuine problem? You gotta write to something, like, the best stories you can write are stuff that's, like, truest to your heart, that you know very well, that you can just channel well. We're doing this. Yeah, God! What an a-hole. Stolen. trying to find that core idea, you know, like, in the deepest part of your soul, is the hardest thing. 'Cause I think like, I like to think back to, Sun Also Rises by, Hemingway. Because what that book manages to convey, when you understand the full historical context, is that that book conveys vibes entirely well. It is a very kind of, like, dry, meandering story. Like, the narrative itself is very dry and meandering, but the vibes are immaculate when you like understand the full, like, when you're like because it's a period piece. It's kind of like, yeah, it takes place in a specific time period with a specific, like, dreary vibe to it, and Hemingway captures that vibe perfectly. I think the other one, which is from a book that I do not like, is The Wind-Up Bird Chronicles by Murakami. Do not like that book one bit. It is like, that book is like, I read it, and it's like that one Family Guy clip where it's like, who the hell just starts a conversation like that every time something happens? But what I really do enjoy about that book is that it captures this vibe of, like, this listlessness, this feeling of, like, oh my god, this is, like, what's going on with my life? When you're, like, dissatisfied with your job and unemployed, and you like, just don't know what you want to do with your life, and you're unemployed. It is a book that captures the vibe of being unemployed. Where it feels like everything just goes on by and, like, nothing matters. It's like, yeah, you're financially stable, you're being supported well, but it's like, what am I doing? It's great. I really like it. Alright, let's get our Route 203 encounter. Another Starly. We got the, Duke Claws saving us here. Starly, we appreciate you. You give IVs, right? I guess it wouldn't be bad to kill. I think these books just have exclusively Starlies in them, so we're just gonna move on. That's bad advice, woman. So when it came to Once in a Lifetime, one of the reasons why, like, I wrote it is because I really like that vibe of just, like, I guess it's like a childish vibe, I guess. It's mostly because it's like I lived around in this one dry as balls place growing up. There was like some weird like dry lands and woods, and it just like basically my imagination just went wild with all the crap that could be there. It's kind of like, if you guys know why Legend of Zelda was made, that's how I felt as a kid. Trying to channel that in my book. That's the vibe I'm trying to channel. And I feel like I got a good grasp on that, and just combining with like a lot of stuff that I just liked as a kid. Because I genuinely think you need to make something really good but respectable for, like, kids and adults the same. Kids deserve better than Jujutsu Kaisen, you know? Spam, you're in the world... I'm sorry, Spam, you're in the world-building whirlpool. You're gonna start writing down that outline, and you're gonna realize, oh no! It's alright. You gotta find that nugget of vibe in your work and be like, yeah, this is it. There's a fishing guru around here too, so... If there's one show that actually did inspire me the most for my structure, that would be Star Trek. Because Star Trek is, I think, adult. Like, they have these little things that you can see yourself on TV. I think you can share those TV programs with your friends. It took me forever to find my bug. I think I remember, like, the first thing, like, the initial concept for Once in a Lifetime was, it started off as like, you know what? I like the weirdness of SCPs. What if I made like Power Rangers fucking fight SCPs? But then I realized that like, no wait, I can't really work with that because I'm not that big of a fan of Power Rangers. That's when I went down to like the Tokusatsu rabbit hole. I was like, actually, wow, this is like really, really way deeper than just like fucking Power Rangers, you know? Become an artist and spam. But we'll see. You can tell stories just with like a strong identity, like with just like vague allusions to a story with a strong aesthetic identity. There's one guy, I think his name's like on Twitter, Base Binkle. He just writes a bunch of snippets, which are just like simulacrums of actual stories. But he has a very, very strong visual design to like what he draws. So a lot of people really like it for that reason. He's an artist I found because like he's like one of the, like the more prolific what's it called? Prolific OC artists I see there, and that's because he just has a very distinct visual design, and it's like kind of like using tropes and like just tropes and scenarios and having the art carry the rest. Very much a world builder, if you know. Where's the fishing guru? Okay, so we got the old rod. What can we get with an old rod? If we can only catch a Magikarp or a Goldeen. I'm actually gonna go back to, not Route 218. What do we got here? Oh, there's like quite a few mons we can get from here. We can only get Magikarps here. With an old rod, but what can we get in the wild? Oh, there's honey trees too! Dang. I say we get our Magikarp and just, like, have them on the back burner. Actually, hold on. I think there's... We could probably get... Oh, is there anything else we could get here? Okay. So we could just get a Magikarp here, so, unless we want to get a... Actually, no. We're just gonna get our Magikarp here. Nothing wrong with getting ourselves a good little Gyarados. Okay, you know what? We can get it later. Okay, let's actually continue. We should... I want to try and beat the first gym before we wrap up the night, bare minimum. Hey, you know, Toby Fox said, Deltarune was based on a fever dream he had, so... No way! I will use trading to evolve him. I absolutely will use trading to evolve him. I will figure out how to set up trading so we can get this guy evolved. Absolutely. It's, since it, you know, he's got this look. He's the friend zone guy. I guess it could have been Oh God Why, but I guess like depends on which one. I remember the friend zone guy being like it, but hold on. Did I just gaslight myself into a rage face that doesn't exist? I guess it's more the okay guy, but you know. There were a lot of friend zone rage face comics, though. I would work at the library, man. These are New York libraries. They're dice rolls, whether they're like good or not. We can teach him any moves. He's only knows teleport though, so he's gonna really pay off later on. I would have actually really liked the Zubat. I really like Crobat as flying type. Oh, there we go. Good. Here it comes. It is. It is. Nice. Yeah, these aren't very tactical battles right now. After this, we also can get an encounter on Lake Verity as well. That actually might be a problem. Hold on. Get him, Lawface. We're gonna be safe about this. What's your problem, Psyduck? What was that Psyduck's problem? Right now, like, we don't really have a clear path through the rock gym, which is concerning me. I'm not sure if Abra can learn anything. We got two people who are type weak. One person who's just gonna die to ground type moves. I'll go back to Lake Verity and Twin Leaf Town to see if we can just fish out something. Like, literally anything. Even a BIDOOF would, like, help us out. So we got... There's also Route 204 we can glance at to boot. We could possibly get a Budu. See, a Budu, what can we get with an old rod? Only magic. So we can only get Magikarp with an old rod. But that will get us a Budu. Oh, man, dude, they do not give you... They do not get you set up with some proper Pokemon for fighting the Rock-type gyms, you know? A Geodude? Maybe we can get him with Magnitude? Okay, so Rock Smash will at least help us. Like, who can learn Rock Smash? I might teach Derp Rock Smash, just... really stuck with it for now. Yeah, but we're gonna get stumped by the first gym. What's our encounter? Oh! We got it. Why are these Psyducks so strong? I don't want to risk crit hitting that. We'll just Pokeball him. All right. You know we're gonna pull out a Rage Face Classic for this guy. Dude, we got bailed out. We got bailed out so hard. Ruby, please. I wonder what's gonna happen. Okay. This song also, very good. Are you really Puppet Guy in the gym? We're just gonna hit the center first, because I can't remember if we fight you or not. Oh yeah, we can also get a Craniados or a Shield on here as well. Sheldon. Oh. Let's also make a save here. Save. Oh, not a lot of data. Okay. Let's get everybody up to speed. Water gun, we're set. We got Spark under our belt. See if Mr. Friendzone. We also gotta name somebody Fedora. Yeah, that's gonna be it. We're gonna work with 2010's memes, not just rage faces. We're going with it all. No, I think 2010. We gotta go back in time. 2010 memes aren't exactly cringe, it's just they were like I think like these were like the longest lasting ones. Like, can I has cheeseburger? Hawk2. I love Hawk2, but you took my life savings. Isn't it sad that, like, you know, that back then, if Dan Daniel became a thing, it became a thing now, you'd get the Dan Daniel rug pull-pulling. That's what differentiates old memes from new memes. Old memes terrorize classrooms. New memes get involved in, fraud. Geodude? More like Geopood. The Geodude from the mine. Yeah, and also this is the other thing. Look how many Pokemon this game throws at you. Just this early on. We've already got a full party of 6 diverse Pokemon, like, just within the first route. That's really where Black and White really seem to suffer. Like, their early game spread of Pokemon was like, ass. What the WTF boom? No, we gotta... Same with... Like, it's the same with the fat guy. My family-friendly rebrand will have to wait. I like it, but like I said, I do want to try and curb back on language and all that. So that water gun animation just looks like this. Okay. Times for weakness, baby. The thing about like is that I just want to do it like on a personal thing. I don't want to like normalize like foul language or like too much trash talk. Like I said, I'm expecting to start a family within like the next few years. So might as well start now. I don't want to say like fuck in front of a child, you know. Okay, Orberg, what do you got? Rourke. His name is Rourke. A Geodude, an Onix, and a Cranidos. And the Cranidos is like the outlier because he's only got Pursuit, Headbutt, and Leer. So it's all gonna be on Dolan's back to just sweep. Which is pretty doable, not gonna lie. I'm glad these things do not have sturdy. Gonna be honest, giving Roggenrola sturdy is actually kind of genius to give, like, some extra utility to, like, the generic rock-type move. The generic rock-type Pokemon. Time to take a piece! It's gonna be so funny if Dolan's the reason. Make sure everybody's procced and ready to go. We might need to, like, salvage this a bit. Oh, you already evolved at 14. Nice. You evolved too at 14? Never mind, this is gonna be, like, super free. And Mach Punch. My god, that's actually a great move to have. But the most thing is, like, I think it's going back around. There's nothing wrong with rebranding yourself to be a bit more family-friendly. It's more like, especially with the state of YouTube, too. I think as long as you pretend the old you doesn't exist, or you're better for going family-friendly. You just gotta be upfront and honest. This guy always related to IDOF, where it's like, you said, like, hey, man, I'm an adult now. I really don't find the same enjoyment of doing my old content anymore, okay? But no, you gotta be like, no, dude, I'm like, I got empathy. My empathy meter is like 30%. Empathy meter, I'm sorry. I very rarely get involved in the youth drama. The only reason I'm, like, slightly connected to the IDOF stuff is because, like I said, I don't think there's a single people here who, like, didn't really enjoy his content. And then when he starts talking about his, like, empathy meter... See, I've only learned empathy at the age of 30. Got me, I can fill up my empathy meter. Okay, let's get him ducked. Uh-oh, I hope you don't have a ×4 weakness to water or grass. That's the other thing Roggenrola had. Roggenrola had sturdy and was mono rock. That's a fast... Well, actually, no. What am I talking about? My duck is not going to be fast. That's... You know what? That's the funniest thing. The only thing I saw related to that was a clip of Ethan just going like, yeah, I agree. There's like a genocide going on in Israel. It's horrible. That dealt a lot of damage to my duck. Is he gonna make it out? Oh, he's just gonna use a potion. No, he is. Oh, dude, we got saved by the potion. We got saved by the potion. Dolan's actually the goat. He's actually the duck. See, I didn't really follow with H3 after he turned the podcast stuff, because he just went from one of the most unique creators to a really bog standard, like, boring. And that's the only reason why I didn't really like him. It's like, some people were, like, making stuff up about him, and I just laughed at, like, oh yeah, he just became, like, a generic celebrity now, which is just a shame. Nothing bad. Then, everybody just realized, like, what? Wait. Then, like, Hassan and co. showed up. And just started saying, like, you know what? Let's just, like, ruin this guy's life, even though, he agrees with us 90% of stuff. Nice, we got Stealth Rock. Very good. But yeah, H3, you agree with us on, like, I've even, like, glanced through some of the stuff. It's like, H3 is not, like, a hyper right-wing Zionist or anything like that. Even on his own debate, It's just that, like, what's it called? I think the worst view he had was believing in, the Jewish Nakba, which is just a lie. But he agrees with every other stance that they have, and it's like, what's the problem? He literally agreed with Hassan during their big debate, and then Hassan got mad about that. It was so funny. It's the only time I'll get involved in YouTube drama, because it's like, I just had to know. It's like, is Ethan Klein literally Hitler? And then you say like, oh no, they just really don't like him. I could be spreading misinformation. For all I know, like, you could actually be throwing Sig Hails and, like, donating to, children bombing charities. But nobody online can ever convince me. Because the vitriol is, like, so high, it's like, I'm not gonna believe anything I read about it at this point. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, Ethan, you will always be a cringe YouTuber, but at least you're not morally reprehensible like, Hassan and his orbiters. Anyways, that is it for today. First gym down, no losses. We have, like, a pretty sizable party going, too. The Psyduck is going to be pretty good for the early game to mid game to cover for weaknesses for Chimchar, who is now evolved. Shinx is going to be a very, very solid fast electric type. And Geodude, I guess, I'm not sure when we'll need some rocks, but Geodude's pretty solid as well, so, you know. Is Bouch unironically evil? Yeah. The worst part of that is, it even reminds me of relate. Like, I saw like some video recently on power scaling. It's like on how power scaling is just kind of like stupid. The woman like talking about it. I agree with her points, but then she starts just getting salty about it. Like, I know that like right-wing leading men are really like power scaling, and like us liberal women are much more intelligent when consuming our media. And it's like, wow, you're a piece of shit. And I agree with most of your points. So it went from a well-analyzed video to just, like, petty projection. It always sucked when that. It's like, you could just be like, you just... Here's the thing. If you want to be a... If you guys want to be, like, a real hater, stand on business and just be like, yeah, I hate you because you're annoying. I find you annoying, and that's why I dislike you. You don't have to, like... You don't have to find someone morally reprehensible to, like, dislike them. And this is not talking about, like, disliking, like, you know, sending death threats. You could be like, oh... I just see you online, I find you really annoying, so I don't like you and I don't want to see you. It could just be as simple as that. You don't have to be like, you know, these evil right-wing genocide supporters don't have my media literacy. You could just don't make crap up because it makes you look like a prude. Just be like, you just don't gotta do that. You just gotta be like, you know, I don't like you. If you choose to, like, dislike people based on bigotry, then that's, like, you can do that, and you'll, like, suffer the consequences of that, but you could just hate people consequence-free, just being like, I don't like you. I'm the most progressive guy on earth, because it's like, I don't care about any of your extraneous traits. It's like, I don't like you, because it's just that, like, if you're despicable, that's just because that's you. It's all on you, bro. And this is talking about, like, actual despicable people, not annoying people on YouTube. I will clarify with that. But, yeah. That's all I got for now. Yeah, so it's like, if you see some guy being really annoying, posting Blue Archive, and be like, dude, it's legal, though, you just gotta be like, I don't care, I don't like you, and block him. That's it. No, I gotta see that, like, you know, actually, Spam, you do remind me of one of my favorite BreadTuber videos, which was a genuinely good, which was, like, just, like, a simple analytical piece talking about, like, how, like, about, like, what, like, Sigma male, right, like, super right-wing types latch on to, like, Joker, or, like, Christian Bale and Psycho, or, like, even Attack on Titan, and said, like, how the authors had to make it, like, exceedingly clear. Like, the entire summary was going through, like, stuff like Joker, and how, like, in Joker 2, they made it exceedingly clear. It's like, oh, yeah, Joker's not an idol, look how pathetic he is, or, like, how Aaron is, like, you know, Mrs. Oh, I just want her to remember me for 10 years, saying, like, how that these guys that people hold up as, like, Sigma male, oh, they're fighting for their country, are actually just really pathetic. But then he does the 180, and realizes, wait a second, even though they're owning the chuds, these movies, this ending of Attack on Titan, this Joker 2, they still suck as movies. So it's like, you know, it doesn't matter if you own the chuds, because it's like, the movies still suck, and the chuds won't care. They'll just ignore the shitty movie and be like, dude, Joker is real about society. And it was so funny seeing him come to that realization, because it's like, man has first normal thought for first time in his life. It's like, yeah, no shit if somebody's using a movie to be like, oh, dude, the Joker is real. If someone's saying that, it's like no crap that they don't care about the movie. They don't care if like somebody's saying like, hey, you're a chud. They're not gonna care. Neither should you. Then he also ends the video saying like, oh, we gotta make some more leftist propaganda instead to fight these right wingers. And it's like, wow, okay, yeah, you're just be normal. That's all you gotta do. Just be normal. Offer a nice hand, and as long as somebody doesn't go off an extremist deep end, they can be fine. And usually when people, like, usually it's like, I genuinely think, like, when people go, like, extremists, it's like circumstances beyond their control, and they look for something to blame and all that, you know? If you want my analysis on Joker 1, I think it's, like, it is low-key as somebody whose autism has been taken advantage of in the workplace. I do, like, it's kind of like an extreme version of kind of like that, where if somebody is mentally ill in the real world, they are going to be like seen as easy pickings. Office Space does like a much better kind of one with it, with good old Milton, where he's clearly like soft spoken, kind of like has something going on with him, a little bit weird, but he's fully taken advantage of and does kind of get his vengeance at the end. But then it's like it's made extreme and like kind of like brings up those harsh truths, you know. It's weird how I'm wording this stuff, you know. Don't take me 100% seriously. Don't clip me. Don't clip me out of context. I rarely see that, to be honest, Spam. I've seen more of the opposite, where if something gets a really bad sequel, people say like, oh no, this is why the prequels were the masterpiece. But yeah. That's all I got for today. So, your assignment today, chat, just don't watch RedTube, and just watch stuff that'll make you smile. Stay off of Twitter. Go watch a good movie. Go read a good book. There's better things to do than to watch BreadTube or somebody talk about the rise of the Fifth Reich and how we're gonna get all the libtards, you know? Anyways, cheers, good evening, and everybody have a good sleep. Stay chill, and I mean that in this weather. It sucks out there.